Hi, folks. Lately, I've been hearing the question, how do I know if a person is toxic? In one of my previous videos, I've talked about how to deal with toxic relationships, but just as important, we need to be aware and learn the signs of what exactly a toxic person is. So today, we're going to talk about the signs of a toxic person. The signs will be represented by the spelling of the words emotionally abusive. So let's dive right in. The letter E for emotionally abusive. They are emotionally abusive, exhibiting a pattern of behavior with the intention to control others and harm their mental well being. The letter M for manipulative. They are very manipulative and controlling of those around them by using control methods such as laying the guilt trips or gaslighting and closely monitoring the people where they go and what they're doing. And then the letter O for overly critical. They are overly critical of others, judgmental, complaining, and tend to focus on negativity versus positivity in every situation. The letter T, talk maliciously. They love to gossip and tell lies about people and are highly jealous of those who perceive to be a threat or competition to their fragile ego. The letter I for insecure. They exhibit very low self-esteem that results in excessive outward behaviors of extreme need for attention and obsessive preoccupation with their physical appearance, flaws, and imperfections. The letter O for overly defensive. They take everything too personally, read into things too much, being oversensitive, and then become overly defensive, ready to attack at any given moment. The letter N for negative. They are often referred to as the energy vampires because their negativity and neediness leaves you feeling drained when you're around them for any significant amount of time. They are miserable, unhappy people who lack real friends. Okay, the letter A for attacking. They tend to attack others when criticized or called out for their lies. They often overreact, lie, and weaponize any personal information they have on you to use against you to distort the truth. When feeling threatened, they go in the attacking mode. Okay, so let me just stop right here. This thing is the them being attacking is really important to point out. Um, it's important, and by that video that I talked about how to deal with toxic relationships, it's important not to divulge too much of your personal information to toxic people. And the reason being is because they will use your personal information they will weaponize your personal information to hurt you at a later point in time. So it's just we need to be aware of the things we say to them. I would just keep it a very general, light conversation, but just keep in mind that if you do divulge personal information, they will remember it, and at some point in time, they will use that as a weapon against you to hurt you. So just keep that in mind. Okay, the letter L for lying. They tend to gossip and habitually spread malicious lies or rumors to devalue others. When confronted with the truth of their bad mouthing, they will deflect or deny it. And then L again for lack of empathy. They are not able to empathize nor understand people's feelings and emotions. They can only handle shallow or surface level conversations. The letter Y, yelling. They resort to yelling and verbally abuse. They resort to yelling and verbally abusing others when feeling angry or threatened. Or they may choose to completely shut down, walk away, and totally ignore others. A for alienating. They have an alienating behavior that comes across as hostile and unfriendly. This results in poor, unhealthy relationships, both in their personal and work life. They have low emotional regulation that keeps their lives in constant state of stress, chaos, and high drama. They tend to be very skeptical and suspicious of others. And B for blaming. They always blame others by humiliating and spreading malicious lies, plays the victim mentality, and never take personal responsibility or apologize for their own wrongdoing. They have the blaming attitude that it's always someone else's fault. U for unforgiving. They are very unforgiving and will hold a grudge forever, keeping scores of all previous arguments from as far back as childhood. remembering all past wrongs, real or imagined, and continually rehashing past issues that have long been resolved. They refuse to let go of the past, choose to be unforgiving, and take their grudges to their grave. Letter S for self centered. They always prioritize their own needs above others. They expect the world to revolve around them. They are inflexible, selfish, and self serving. They don't believe in compromises, so it's basically their way or the highway. Letter I for insincere apology. They rarely apologize, but when they do, it's not sincere. And there's always an ulterior motive behind their apologies that serves their interest only. The letter V for volatile. They can become emotionally or physically volatile when they are challenged or called out for their toxic behaviors and when they feel a loss of control. This volatility is usually expressed as rage in the form of emotional or physical abuse. And last but not least, E for excessive jealousy. They are extremely jealous of others by constantly comparing and competing with them. Their excessive jealousy can turn into hatred for their competitors. Let me just say that again. They are extremely jealous of others by constantly comparing and competing with them. Their excessive jealousy can turn into hatred for their competitors. In summary, toxic people are unhealthy, abusive, and controlling. It's important to recognize these signs of a toxic person so that you can avoid getting into a relationship with one. And for those of you who are currently in a relationship with a toxic person, please remember to set boundaries for yourself and encourage your partner to seek counseling as soon as possible so he or she can begin the process of healing. And if you haven't seen my previous video, how to deal with a toxic relationship, please check it out so you can learn how to set boundaries. Setting boundaries is not just for your toxic romantic partners, but also your family members and friends too. Remember, toxic people are emotionally abusive, and their toxicity can have long term destructive consequences on your mental and physical health. So keep these signs in mind and protect yourselves, not allowing toxic relationships to have access to your life. Okay? This is kind of a short video, but there's quite a few signs here. There's about, I think, 11 signs from the spelling of the word emotionally abusive. So I hope you found this video very helpful. If you do, please click like, click share. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments section that's below. And if you have experiences with toxic people and you have more signs that you want to share, please put that in the comments so we all can learn. Um, all these signs that I found, I'm sure it's not all of them, but I would say they're the most common signs. So if those of you who are familiar with signs of toxic people, if there's any signs I've missed, please put them in the comments. Okay. And please subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified of all my future videos. So folks, until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye.